Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Once again, thanks for joining us. My name is Kimberly Tucker, and I'm the Director of Marketing here at DSD, and I have the privilege of being your event host today, which means I'll be here to answer any questions in the chat box or help you out with any connectivity issues and even send you the recording later. With that, thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to join us. We are super excited to have Velixo here. They are an Excel-based reporting tool designed just for Acumatica that gives Excel, the program you love, a new toolbar with over 60 capabilities tailored into GL and project data, generic inquiries, and more. We really love it, and we even use it in-house here at DSD, so we really believe it's a piece of technology that can benefit each one of our clients in powerful ways. Our goal today is to show you a more effective way of managing your everyday reporting. So we'll look at some awesome ways you can eliminate manual reporting processes and ultimately reduce costs. And remember, this webinar is for you. So please use the chat box to ask any questions you have. And as we go along, we'll address them at the end. And now I'll turn it over to Duffy to get started.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for the introduction, and our team, Sandra and myself, today are very excited to walk you through Excel. A variation of Excel, which is Velixo, which, like colleague at DSD mentioned, which is it integrates between Acumatica and Excel. The structure of the call today is going to be fairly straightforward. What I'm going to do is walk you through a couple of slides, just walking through the history of Velixo on how we got started. After that, we'll spend the next couple of minutes walking you through a little bit more in detail some of the major functionalities that all of you will have access to with Velixo. But really, for the major chunk of the call today, what we'll do is go through a simple trial balance and walk you through some sample pack reports showcasing the power of Velixo and Excel and Acumatica combined. But before I get started, I really want to thank everyone for giving us the opportunity today, and very excited to showcase Velixo. So just to get started, my name is Duffy Cohen, and I am the VP of Channel Sales and Customer Success here at Velixo. Our founder, Gabriel Michaud, he's actually been in the ERP space for over 25 years. He's a serial entrepreneur, has run multiple companies before actually working for Acumatica for several years. He spent about 4 years there before creating Velixo. Our CTO as well, Pavel Kabir, has had some experience with Acumatica as well, working for the organization. Thus, we feel that we are an Acumatica first product. What you'll see today, very, very quickly, is that our organization has grown tremendously. In the last 5 years, we've grown from 0 customers all the way up to over 920 customers. And I wanted to preface that all the organizations that we work with are Acumatica because we are an Acumatica exclusive product. You'll see from the map below, we are in various countries. I believe we need to update this PowerPoint because we are in quite a few more countries. I believe we've just added our 25th country. We've just entered into the Philippine market. But by far, our largest market is the US, followed by Australia, Southeast Asia, Europe, and then Canada, where we're located. Now, I won't spend too much time discussing the history of Velixo, but really the story goes back 25 years, where Gabriel had a number of customers at the time who would ask if there was a way to manipulate the reports, extract their data in the way they saw fit. And at the time, there wasn't really anything that really fit the needs of these specific customers. We know every ERP has their own tools and devices that for them works for a specific customer, but we wanted to make sure that customers don't have to not necessarily learn something new, but be able to stick within an environment that they're familiar with. And thus, Gabriel, our founder, had created an add-on within Excel called Velixo. Now, what you're going to see once we download Velixo, which will only take about 30 seconds to a minute, is that we've added a new ribbon within Excel called Acumatica. When you will click on that ribbon, there will be a drop-down of additional functionalities that I will go through one by one. In addition to that, we've created over 70 functions now. We had 60 a couple of months ago. We're at 70 now, and I envision this to grow in the near future. But these functions are designed to help you with your financials, general ledger, projects, and generic inquiries. And just to let everyone know, generic inquiries is one of the newer functionalities we've added in the last year. And this really allows customers the capability to extract any single module in Acumatica in real time. And I wanted to also emphasize that all the data that you will see today is refreshable at the click of a button. Now, if you want to take a look after we have the presentation today at the Acumatica Marketplace, we're very proud that we are the #1 rated solution. But if you wanted to get some customer feedback, please take a look at some of the reviews. So if you notice, you'll see that we have a 5-star rating, and we are very proud of that because we want to ensure that the customers have the best user experience on our software. And with any customer reviews or any customer comments we ever receive on our product, we take that to heart and we try to implement some sort of need or demand from a customer that we feel that a lot of other customers would find useful for their own functionalities. We were at the Acumatica Summit now it's over 4 months ago in January, and we were very proud to take home the ISV of the Year award. And it's just showcasing the customers and the partners' belief in our software over the last years. And it just gives us a stronger drive to do better in 2022 and for many more years to come. Now, this is the second to last slide before we get started into the demo of Velixo. And in my mind, this is the pillar of our business. #1, what you will see today is our product really does provide you with a first-class experience. You will see the speed of our product really showcase in the simple trial balance and some of the other functionalities that I'm going to showcase. On top of that, we have an unlimited user model. So if you're going to have 5, 10, 20 individuals who will need access to Velixo, you will not have to pay an additional fee for that. It's a one price, and then everyone has access to the platform. On top of that, we mimic the exact same restrictions that each individual has in Acumatica when they're trying to use Velixo. Now, what that means is that if someone doesn't have the necessary permission rights in Acumatica, and then they're trying to use Velixo, they still won't have access to those specific views or modules. And lastly, this really should be our tagline, but if you know Excel, you'll know Velixo. As you'll see here, this is just some of the organizations we're working with right now. We weren't really able to include all 900 organizations, but we did want to provide a snapshot. I do like to hone in on Acumatica, as they themselves have seen the value in our software, that they've actually purchased our software for their own financial use. All right, so now what we're going to go do is switch on over to downloading Velixo, and then we'll be able to get started on a simple trial balance. What I'm doing right now will be the exact same steps that you will follow while you're downloading Velixo. Let's go ahead and accept. And I wanted to emphasize, you're going to have to install Velixo for every single unique device. We service Windows, and more recently, we've launched Mac. So now these functionalities are not only available on Windows, but they are also available on Mac products as well. There are 2 functionalities, such as report distribution and Writeback, which are not available on the Mac, but everything else that I'm showcasing today will have available. Now let's just wait for Excel to open up, and then we will be able to get started on our first worksheet. All right, perfect. So let's just zoom in. And the first thing you will notice on the ribbon right up top is you'll see Acumatica now. When you click on the icon, you will see a drop-down of these functionalities, such as refreshing your data, connecting Acumatica to Excel, drilling down to a specific transaction, report distribution, so being able to send out reports directly from Excel, writing your data back to Acumatica, view additional functionalities, and then support on the right-hand side. The first thing I'm going to do today is just simply connect Acumatica to Excel. So let's just add our connection, and then we'll fill out the appropriate details. What's great about this is the username and the passcode that you're currently using for Acumatica will be the same one that you would use to log in here. So you don't have to remember another username, another passcode. I think we all have enough already as it is. So a few other items to mention is that the Remember Me icon, just click on that. So the following time, all you'll have to put in your password. And if you're using Active Directory or SSO, we do support that as well. And we have the steps available on our webpage. Last item I'm going to mention is the connection name. Now, when you're adding your connection name, I highly suggest to make it as small as possible because you're going to see that we're going to be using this connection name quite frequently as we build specific reports. Let's go ahead and connect to Acumatica. And you're going to see once we officially do connect to Acumatica, there's going to be a green cloud which does showcase that we are officially connected. At this juncture here, if you have multiple tenants, so if you have multiple URLs that are in production, you can have those all connected at once on one given spreadsheet. But if you have one tenant but multiple branches, you don't have to worry about that because that's all resides within one tenant. All right, so since we're connected now, we can get started off a simple trial balance. All right, so let's take a look at our code name and balance. The first thing we're going to do today is look for our GL accounts. At this juncture, you can put your GL accounts in one by one, but that's fairly taxing from my perspective. So our team has created something right up top. If you look at the icon that says Insert Chart of Accounts, when you click on that, you'll see our connection right here. You have the ability to only include active accounts, but at this point, let's just click on Insert, and you'll see all of your GL accounts populate in real time. If you expand the cell out, you'll see right up top here, this is a dynamic function that we've created. So like I previously mentioned, we did create over 70 functions to allow you to extract your data in real time. Now at this point or at any point in your report building, you can simply click on the top left where it says refresh all. You have the option for a smart refresh or a full refresh. What it's going to do, it's going to update your data in real time. So any GL accounts been added, removed, modified, already update in real time. The next item we're going to look for now is our account name. At this point, I'll type equals account name. Once you do so, you're going to see your connection, so that demo that we previously inputted, and then we're just going to take our account. And to make it a little bit easier, we have the entire array, and then just like that, you have all of your account names. Next, let's put a few additional filters. Let's look for ledger, sub-account, and then financial period. Now, we're going to leave sub-account blank for all intents and purposes, but you can easily consolidate for sub-accounts just as well today. Now, we're going to look for our account ending balance now. So I'm going to type equals account ending balance. But there's another approach you can take. And if you're familiar with Excel, I am sure you have utilized the insert function. And the first thing to notice in the insert function is that we have added 7 new items within the categories. So we've added generic inquiries, projects, general ledger, list functions, audit functions, and writeback. We're going to take general ledger, and we're simply going to take the account ending balance, but you'll be able to see all of the functions that you have available here. At this point, we'll simply fill out the appropriate fields. Oh, but let's make sure I type actual correct. Perfect. And let's go back to our insert function. Perfect. So we'll put our connection in once again. We'll take our ledger. And our financial period. At this point, we are done. I can click OK. But before I do so, I wanted to show you all the resources we have available on our support page. What we're going to do is simply click on the help on this function. And at this juncture, we will be directed to Velixo support page. If you recall, we're working on the account ending balance function right now. So that's exactly where it's going to direct us. First item you'll see is the syntax to be inputted for this specific function. But as you scroll down, you'll see the parameters and the descriptions. But we even take this a step further. We have different examples that you can utilize at your own discretion, which are a little bit off the beaten path of what I'm showing you today. And it's just to give you an idea of the different avenues you can utilize Velixo for. And as we scroll to the far bottom, you'll see any limitations with this function. So that was just for this function. If you wanted to go back to our just Velixo support page, let's click on the functions in this scenario here. You're going to see assistance with every single function that we have. So like I mentioned, we service financials, projects, and generic inquiries. We have functions detailed for every single one of these. And we know that the project module is a beast. So we do have over 46 functions specifically designed for the project module within Acumatica. Just going to scroll below to show you. So let's take an example here. Account group description. You'll see the syntax. You'll see the parameters, descriptions, and an example. Last item I want to showcase is our CAD reports and tutorials. So you'll see here we have P&L, trial balance, cash flow, construction project report sample pack. These are all available for your own use, and you can repurpose these at your own discretion. I'm going to be going over them momentarily, but I just want to show you that we have various reports that you can use. Okay, let's get back to our report and let's simply click on OK. At this point, let's make this report look a bit better. All right. And in my mind, this is where the exciting stuff really comes into play. So let's say you want to change our financial period. You can simply change your financial period and your data updates in real time. Let's say we wanted to compare 1 year versus the previous year. We can do the same thing quite simply. And you'll see once again, values update once again in a matter of seconds. And this is that tied connection that I previously mentioned with Acumatica and Excel. Now, let's say we want to compare our actuals versus our budget. Because budget's part of the ledger, you can definitely do that. You can even have multiple budgets and forecasts. It's really based on how you've set up everything within Acumatica. So let's switch on over, and I want to show you that there are values in this report itself. And this is where some of the additional functions that we've provided come into play. So if you wanted to hide 0 rows, hide 0 columns, that's going to be useful for yourself and your team in building the report set. Now, to make this feel like a true trial balance, let's just put in the variance, and then I'm going to show you all one last functionality. And after that. Now, at this point, we have different ways that you can group specific accounts together. Let's say we want to take 10-100, 10-200, and then 10-300. All you'll do is put a semicolon. You'll copy the appropriate cells. And let's do that again. I think I copied the wrong cells. And there you go. So it's taking all 3 of these accounts. Take another example. So let's say we wanted 10-100 all the way to 10-750. And there you go. The last example is the use of wildcards. And this is best explained by another example. Let's say we're looking for any GL account with a leading 1. Just going to put a question mark thereafter. And then let's say we don't want 10-200. And you'll see the values update in real time. So this was just showcasing you really how Velixo has started. Financials was our bread and butter. It's how Velixo had been created. Now what we're going to go do is walk onto a sample pack report. And like I mentioned, this sample pack is available on our website. So you do have access to this already. Let's just log in. All right, perfect. So we are officially connected. Let's click the Acumatica so you can see once again the drop down of the functionalities. You'll see we have a P&L, trailing P&L, an income consolidator report, cash flow statement, trial balance, and a few additional reports. For this specific scenario, just wanted to open this up to show you how we have created this report. But first item to mention is that for this specific company, they have multiple branches. So let's say we wanted to go on over to the Service West and see the report for that specific branch. You can easily do that with a drop down. Let's go back to our consolidated. And I did want to mention that you can include unposted transactions, which is a limitation within Acumatica. Now, one of the most highly utilized functionalities, and you may have seen this in your Acumatica report writer, is the drill down functionality. But I think you'll see with Velixo how powerful our drill down functionality really is. So what we're going to go do is click on any cell. So let's click on this cell right here. And before I click on drill down, for folks who have not utilized it, what it allows you to do is click on any cell within any given spreadsheet and go to the source transaction directly within Acumatica, really in a number of clicks. So we're going to take the total operating expenses and we're going to look for a specific transaction. So let's click on drill down, and then you'll see there's going to be a new sheet that's going to open up that showcases all the transactions from that line item. It's going to showcase what sub-account it would be coming from, the financial period, the branch, and most importantly, the balances. But I do want to show you how we are connected to Acumatica. So let's take this example right here. Let's just click on View Transaction. At this juncture, we're going to be pushed directly into the Acumatica ecosystem. And I believe it is the account details section. So we'll see here, 201.73, one at the Hilton. At this point, we can simply get to the original invoice, as long as you've uploaded it, by clicking on the reference number. Perfect. And there we go. So you'll see the full invoice populate. So we'll see 201.73, one night at the Hilton. We have our original invoice. Now, if we want to go back and to fact check everything, let's go back to our spreadsheet. Let's get out of here. We'll see 201.73. At this juncture, you have the ability to even drill back. So let's see what cell this actually came from. Perfect. So this actually came from travel. So if you recall, we started at the total operating expenses and we drilled all the way back to one transaction within the travel section. Now the next functionality I'm going to walk everyone through today. It's a very powerful tool and it is for report distribution. Right up top here, you'll see the icon that says New Distribution List. I'm going to show you all an example because I think with the report distribution, it will be powerful to see what you can do in sending out reports. Now, the first thing to be mindful of is the format in which you want to send out reports in. With Velixo, you have the ability to send out reports in Excel, PDF, and then based on who the intended user is, so let's say it's going to be someone external who will not have access to Velixo at all. You can just click on either remove all formulas or just remove Velixo formulas. You can even send the report out to someone who would have access to Velixo so that when they receive the report and they connect to Acumatica, they could even themselves still drill down on that specific transaction. As I scroll to the right, you'll see this is just the tabs based on the below sheets. If you leave it blank, it's just going to send all of the reports. Next, you'll see the folder path. So this is if you're saving your reports now to OneDrive, SharePoint, or another online medium. All you'll have to do is put the folder path right there and it will automatically send. Let's just scroll to the right-hand side where we'll see a little bit more in detail how we could, get a little bit more granular with our reporting. And this is where the real customization comes into play. So first option here that you'll see is that you can put the report in the body of an email as opposed to an attachment. But on top of that, you can even pick and choose pieces of a report that you want to send out. before it actually gets sent out, so that let's say you have a CFO who only wants to see the net sales. You can send them a report that will only show them the net sales. And I'm going to be showcasing all of you an example in about a minute or so where we see a live report being sent out. The last filter you'll see here is by branches. So you'll see if you recall, I showcased Service West and Consolidated. So you can make sure that right intended user gets that right report. But as opposed to doing that, we have other filters that you can utilize. If you look up top here, you'll see a few additional filters, but you can even create your own filter. Now, once we're ready with our reports to send out, very simple, just click on Distribute All, and at this juncture, the reports will be sent out in real time. Now, this has been called, this functionality alone for a lot of customers who have spent hours, and some have told us even days sending out reports. We've been told this has been called the lifesaver for a lot of them. So hoping that this functionality will help your team as well. Now the reports have almost sent out, as you'll see here. I believe we probably have a few that have already sent. So let's get into our reports. All right. So if you recall, I've sent my reports to my drafts, but let's take a look at our first report. So let's open up the consolidated P&L. You'll see here. And I'm going to scroll down just to show you that we extract anything that is on your report itself. So if you have pie charts, tables, we extract everything. And reports do not need to have Velixo associated functions themselves to be sent out. Second report that you're going to see right now is the specific branch. So in this scenario here, we're sending out a report to Service East. We've removed the budget. And then, this report here is just showcasing the ability to send out a report in the body of an email, but not only that, sending out a piece of report. So like I mentioned, let's say you have a CFO who only wants to see the net sales. You have that ability to customize your report to that intended user. All right, great. So the next functionality that we will walk through today is something called Writeback that you'll see right up top here. And before I walk you through Writeback, I'll provide you with just a summary of how this came about. Originally, ERPs have all been about exporting your data. We had a customer about 1.5 years ago who reached out to us and said, hey, we're looking for the ability to push back our data to Acumatica. And we spent quite a bit of time coming out with the functionality to make this exist. But now what you have the ability with Velixo is to push back your data to Acumatica. So what you'll see up top is perform Writeback. But if you look right to the right, what you'll see is that you're going to have the ability to push back your journal transactions, your budget forecast, your project forecast, and generic Writeback. Generic Writeback is one item that we launched only about 1.5 months ago or 2 months ago, and everything I'm walking you through today is included in that annual software fee. The only item that's an add-on is the generic Writeback. Just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of that. So I think the best example is to show you an example of a Writeback scenario. So what I'm going to go do is switch on over to one of our budget templates that we've created. The first thing you'll notice if you have used the budget template within Acumatica is that the template we've created here is very similar. We have revenue and expense account. We have 2 custom columns that we've created. You'll see we have good old 13 periods here. Now, let's say we wanted to modify our COGS. At that point, you simply modify the financial period, you'll modify the forecasted amount, and you'll see all the periods being reflected with the changed amounts in real time. If you scroll below here, you'll see we have our gross margin. Now, you can use standard Excel functionalities at this point here. If you wanted to, let's say you're looking for a gross margin of 45%, you can use a what if scenario for your sales to see what sales will get us to that 45%. You even have the ability to make it a collaborative experience with Velixo and Acumatica. So let's say we wanted to make a comment for someone else on our team who is also going to be working on the budget. This juncture, I'll just write at Marianne. Can you please take a look? And then you'll see it'll be sent off right away. We are coming out in the near future with tracked changes that will populate on the right-hand side. It's something that our team is working on now, and something we should have, which will be a very exciting tool. Now, before we send out our report back to Acumatica, please note you have the ability to release your documents right away. Most folks prefer to release it once they're directly within Acumatica. So let's go ahead and perform our write-back right now to Acumatica. You'll see how quickly your data is pushed back. Now at this juncture here, all you will have to do is go back into Acumatica and then just release your budget. So this was the budget scenario. I'm just going to open the template that you'll see for journal transactions. You'll see that right here. So you'll put your appropriate fields in. And what's great about Velixo is that if you have additional fields that you see are not included here but are within Acumatica, just add those fields and it will automatically import. Also, I want to make sure that you're aware you need to ensure that your data for those fields are already created in Acumatica for the data to send. Otherwise, you will get an error message on the right-hand side when it says it's going to say pending. It's going to give you the reason why it will not be pushed back. So that right there was the write-back functionality. And I did mention you do have this available for generic write-backs as well. So just to emphasize, generic inquiries allows you the ability to extract any data from Acumatica from any single module. So you'll either have pre-built GIs or you'll have customized GIs that either your team or your partner has helped you create. You'll have the ability to push back your data to those customized GIs. And since we're leading into the GI segment right now, I'm going to show you all how we can extract a generic inquiry from Acumatica and really bring that to life with an Excel and Velixo. Now let's go into our demo environment. And what you'll see right here, let's go into, let's see, I know we have some data within our bills and adjustments. And just so everyone's aware, I don't know if you've all used the generic inquiries frequently. This right here is a pre-built GI that's been provided by Acumatica. You can modify the template as you see fit, but we're not going to touch any of that right now. All we're going to do is click on customization, edit generic inquiry, and we're just going to copy the inquiry title. All right, great. All right, so let's copy that inquiry title and then let's just go back into Excel. Now, at this point, we're simply going to type equals GI for generic inquiry, and we'll see a few additional options you have. So you can filter through your GI, can do a GI lookup, you'll see a few options as well. We're going to click GI, and then just like before, let's add our connection, and then we're just going to add the inquiry. And then you'll see momentarily your entire inquiry will load in real time from Acumatica. And usually when I say that, it usually takes a little bit longer, but it usually updates really in a matter of seconds. Now, while we're waiting for that to update itself, what I'm going to showcase is the next functionality associated with Velixo, which is the project module of Acumatica. So let's go into a sample pack report of our project module. Okay, perfect. So we're seeing the data is almost completely loaded, but you'll see here the visual that you're taking a look at right now This is that project-based reporting sample pack that I did mention when I originally went through our website. That is available for your own purpose. So we created this about a year ago for a customer in the construction-based edition. First item that you'll notice on the left-hand side is a dashboard. And this dashboard is being extracted by the sheets that you see below here. Now, one item I wanted to preface is that all the data that you will see all you see is here, it's not stored here. Everything is stored in Acumatica because that is your store. That is the housing module for where everything is stored. With Velixo, we're really just displaying it in a different manner. Now, the first example I always like to showcase is our project portfolio report. And in this instance here, we have John Kinney, and you'll see all the existing projects he has ongoing, his associated KPIs, the budgeted versus actuals. But if you look at the drop down, if we want to switch on over to another individual, you'll be able to see for that specific individual itself. Now, on the right-hand side, I wanted to also mention, once the data uploads once again, I'm going to click on the cell just to showcase that. Similarly to the financials where we had account ending amounts, now we've created functions for the project module. So you'll see the project ending amount. We've created tasks, cost codes, so that you can utilize the project module just as easily as you could the financials or the generic inquiries. Now at this point here, I'm going to switch on over to another example just to showcase some of the functionalities that this might service for your team. So you'll see here, we're working on a specific project. You could switch that over to another project, or you can simply just change the financial period. So let's say we wanted to change the date. You'll see all of the data update in real time. So we have all the appropriate cost codes versus the budgets in this scenario. We work with many organizations within the construction edition, and many organizations are using WIP reports, and that's not a problem with Velixo itself either. It's just a showcase, just similarly like before, it's just familiarizing yourself with those functions. Your ability with Velixo is based on your ability with Excel. And outside of that, it's just utilizing those functions that we have created. The last example I'm going to showcase here that you all will see is the project forecast module. So this allows you to push back your project forecast to Acumatica. So you'll provide your description, but you'll see the tasks, account groups, and then the associated features as I scroll to the right-hand side. And once you're ready to push this back, just like before, all you'll do is click on Perform Writeback, and then your project will automatically be pushed to Acumatica. Now, the last items I'm going to walk you all through today is all the support that we do have available on our website, because we have many customers who are really often running with our software. Now, I'm going to showcase this is, in my mind, the most important piece, and this is all of the videos, 2 to 3 minute videos showcasing how to use specific functionalities with Acumatica, Excel, and Velixo. Firstly, you'll see, oh, there we go. Well, it's letting us know our projects have been sent. But you'll see here some of the reports that we have access to, showcasing how you can utilize Velixo, such as, whether it's managing your project reporting in Excel, allocations, reconciliations, hyperlinking in Excel, OneDriving, pivot tables. And we're constantly coming out with more and more reports. So if you just take a look, you'll see this has all been within the last month to 2 months. On top of that, we've launched Velixo 7. So we do have a few existing customers on the call today. You'll see some of the new features that we've launched with Velixo over the last year. So you'll be able to look at that, and you'll see we already have over almost 4,000 views, which is really great given that we have just over 900 customers in the Velixo ecosystem. Outside of that, we do have additional resources on our Velixo blog, which is on our website. So let's just go back to our website here. Just go to velixo.com. And let's click on our blog. So at this juncture here, you'll see introducing Velixo 7. projects and constructions with Velixo. So let's say we wanted to look at this example right here. You'll see a full description, full details of some of the examples that I've even walked you through, but maybe a little bit more in detail. And then we have an add-on with it, which is a video, which will showcase a little bit more in detail. So if you want to share this with some members of your team. Now, I was able to go through all the functionalities with Velixo. These presentations usually take about 40 to 45 minutes because I like to leave some time for some questions that you all will have. But at the same time, I like to make sure that everyone has enough time to get to their next meeting. So thank you everyone very much for taking the opportunity today, and I hope this was insightful for your team.
Thank you so much, Duffy. Yeah, so audience members, definitely feel free to continue to engage the chat if anything resonated with you and you have any questions. We did get a couple kind of early on, but I think you did address them. Let's just review just in case. So how many users does the license come with? That was a question.
Yes, so we have an unlimited user model, so it really is dependent on how many individuals you need access to, so it's unlimited.
Great, cool. There was a question about mobile access. Anything there?
Mobile access. You would have, I feel it'd be, is the individual able to provide some additional insight into the mobile access? What they're, like, they can just use it on their mobile phone if they have access to Windows is what I'm.
Yeah, I kind of think so. Yeah, I guess Excel probably has an app. Like, is there any connection there?
Let me get back to you. That's actually the first instance we've actually been asked that question. I can get back to you if you have that member's contact information. I can send you the info, and then you can forward that off to that individual.
Perfect, great. Yeah, great. So another, is the product available for Mac?
Yep, it is definitely available for Mac. There are two functionalities not yet available, which are the report distribution and the Writeback. Outside of that, everything else is available for the Mac.
Perfect, okay. And then this one's kind of a loaded question, but what canned reports come with the standard installation?
What reports come with the standard installation? So the reports that I showcased today, so the P&L trial balance report pack that I showcased and the construction-based reporting pack, you'll have access to all those reports and you can repurpose those. I did showcase on our, let me just share my screen once again. On our support page, we have additional reports. So let's just go back here into our support, but you'll see the example reports tutorials, various reports that you can utilize as well.
Perfect. And those are just user installed or set up, right? You don't need a partner to do that.
You don't need a partner to do that, but you might need a partner, or based on your Excel experience, to actually make those functional for your team. So you'll have to add your connection and then your functions based on your needs.